It all goes. Woo! And we're live. And welcome, Nate. I'm
Wow.
so glad that you're here. I'm so excited for this. I'm loving everything that you're doing,
Well,
even your
thank you.
TikTok lives.
Well, thank you for having me. This is a very, very, very exciting to be on a special guest on a podcast. Um, like I said, I'm Nathaniel Olson. I'm the disability advocate from the state of Minnesota, and I started my journey a year ago, and it's almost going to be 2.5 years in April. April 4th will be 2 years. I am Yeah, it's amazing. Somebody like myself who has a disability and standing out up for other people with disabilities in the state of Minnesota and across the United States is never thought in my life that I was ever going to do this
Right.
because in my childhood and stuff, I wanted to be a PA. Like I wanted to
Mhm.
be a physician assistant. Like, when I was going through my transition program before getting my diploma and stuff, I was like, "Oh, I wanna be a PA. I wanna be in the medical field," but never thought a day of my life that my career was going to be a disability advocate, helping other people getting their services or helping them on the way. So that was an amazing, s career that I am very, very surprised that I took. And the reason why I say that is my story, how this began was I had state guardianship, so my parents sent me to the state in 2023, and so, the new year came into 2024, the election is here, and I was starting to see a trend. I was
Mhm.
advocating for myself, but I was not seeing a process. I was really seeing a slow, slow process. So then I met this lady from up north Minnesota, and I love her to death. She is the one that literally got me into the research stuff, got my eyes open on a lot of stuff, and without her, I mean, this journey would not been amazing. My f my family got me through this and stuff. The family that I have all over social media got me through this. They were the ones that were supportive, the team that I have. So, me getting to this point would not be there without them. They were the ones that
Mhm.
pushed me. They were the ones that were supportive. Those were the ones that became my family in this journey to me making it all the way up to Fox News because people were
Mhm.
ready to hear the truth, and I was ready to fight this battle, and it's a tough battle. It's
Yeah.
not easy. There's a lot of backlash. People hate it. There's a lot of people that bully me, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to keep going and be strong because, yes, I do have a disability. Yes, I have my ticks there and there, but the support that I got after December 17th, you would n you would never believe it. It was just people messaging me saying, "Thank you for this, thank you for that, thank you for doing this," and calling out, and it was amazing. It was really amazing, and it was like, "Wow, I am making a difference." Someone who has a disability, and when I was younger, I knew that I had a disability, but I was so, like, I wanted to be like that person, or why can't you treat me? And it was just like my parents were just so putting me down. It's like, no, you will never do this, you would never do that. I literally had my own mother tell me that you're not able to go to college. I went to college for 2.5
Yeah.
years and mastered psychiatry and stuff, did a 2.5 year pre-med and stuff. And what I was so just opened my eyes is that when I researched and did my stuff as becoming a disability advocate, April 4th of 2024, I was asked in the legislature, we need a guardianship flexibility grant. I did do the federal level. I tried the federal level, but it's like, well, I'm not going to get anywhere federal. Why am I going up to the federal level? I need to start in my local level. So 2024, that is when I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to testify as a disability advocate for the state of Minnesota and see if there's other people that are having issues. And I think 2024 was, okay, we're slowly getting there, torching, slowly getting my voice out there, slowly getting that. 2025 comes around and it mind blown. I was like, what on earth just happened? This is not supposed to happen. Like, how are we making a difference in the state of Minnesota, and how are we making a difference in the United States when I just feel like the team that I have is pushing me there and keeps me going? And that's family to me. That's literally family to me.
Right. I remember seeing you going to Congress and speaking, and I saw it on Fox News, and I went, oh my goodness, absolutely. I'm like, hell yeah, it's about time.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm putting in time in a lot of this, and it was amazing. It was all to the glory of God. It was a really amazing journey, and I'm gonna keep going. Depends if I'm still in the state of Minnesota, but if I'm in a different state, I'm gonna still be advocating for disability people. I will be advocating for both. I'll be advocating for the Minnesota state, and I'll be advocating for this other state. So,
right.
I love it, and now I'm learning. I'm opening my eyes. I was so I hated the word having a disability. I didn't like it when I was a child because it made me so different. Oh, that person looks so perfect and stuff. And now I'm just like, I'm fine having this disability. I'm fine having autism and this superpower that I can reach out to people and help people in their needs and stuff. And so it was reassuring to me knowing that it's okay to have a disability. And I think I just don't want to tell people because it's like, I don't want people to think differently of me. I want to be treated just the same as
somebody with autism.
Yes, without autism or without a disability. That's what I want to be treated as, just the same. And I think the problem is like when I have these debate lives, people are like, well, you should tell people that you are having autism. And I'm like, oh yeah, I should tell people that I have autism. But when I was getting out there in social media, like, hey guys, I have autism, I didn't want to tell people that I had a disability because of what happened in my household, what happened when I was a child, because it's like constantly, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. That was constantly literally that parents. And now I'm having people says, you can do this, you can do that, I believe in you. That was the encouragement that I was getting. That was the encouragement that I was helping with. That was the encouragement that these people were giving me to keep forward and keep going on this journey and stuff. And there was people telling me, you better not stop. And I'm like, I'm keeping it going. So that is something that I really love. And I really is enjoying that I have a team of people that do care, there to lift me up. They're on my downtime. They're on my mental health is low and stuff. So that's kind of what I like, is this team of people supporting me in my needs, loving financially and stuff. That is what the negativity is gone. I have positive people in my life telling me you have a bright future ahead of you and don't ruin it. And that's what I love. And this is why I call them my family and stuff. I have a small circle of people that I talk off the phone and stuff that give me advice on stuff, and then I have a great circle of people that is in the um um on my social media,
Mhm.
yeah, and a good support system matters. That's what matters. I think
Absolutely.
a lot of people don't get that, and that was one thing I was lucky about, is having that, because um I have an uncle that I talk to mostly every night, and it's like he's just amazing. He's just it's like I get to talk to people who care and laugh and cry and have fun and
Mm,
make jokes. So yes, those are the big shout out to them, ladies and gentlemen who are
mhm.
watching this podcast. Big shout out to my supporters who got me through this journey. So they're the ones that deserve the shout out and the praise for supporting me through this journey for two almost 2 years. April 4th is
Mhm.
to be my anniversary for 2 years. And I am so excited to see what God has in store and the journey of me. But, like I said, I'm not going to let my disability stop me. I'm going to keep fighting. And that's why I love
I
this.
love that. Because so a little backstory. I think I told you I'm one of 12. And I'm adopted, and a bunch of my
One of
siblings
12.
are
That is a
adopted.
lot of kids. I'm one of
Yeah.
six. Well, one in seven. But that one is the Lord. So yeah, but yeah, I'm one of six on earth. So it's that's a lot. You beat me by six more.
Yeah, I double you. um, but
True.
one of my brothers who reminds me a lot of you. He is such a strong individual, but he has autism. He has
Mhm.
Asperger's. He's had a lot of issues. A lot of like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And he got it. He got his first job, and he was already set up for like disability. My parents had set him up, and he's like, I can only work 20 hours. I
Exactly.
don't want to do that.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to do that. So and against everybody's wishes, he was like, no, I'm going to work more. I'm canceling my disability. I want to
Mhm.
work more. I want to do things. And like, now he's just like, he's grown, and he's turned into such a wonderful human being. And it just makes me so proud. And like, we need more people like that who, we push up instead of like, oh, well, you're limited to this line. And I feel like that happens everywhere.
Yeah. Uh, I totally agree. I felt like my whole childhood I was limited. I was so
Mhm.
limited. It was just it was crazy to say. Like, my brother was in speech, um, um, and speech, and I wanted to do speech, but my parents like, well, no, no, no. This would be too hard. There's a lot of rules and stuff, and so they wanted to plan having a speech competition with people with disabilities and stuff.
Mhm.
And it's just like, well, that sounds good. Why can't we bring that to the NFCFCA board and say, hey, let's include people with disabilities? But it's it's interesting that my childhood is, and I would have been great doing humor.
Mhm.
I'm such a funny guy, and it's like, mom, let's
Mhm.
find a speech and let's do humor and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we'll have a special speech for you and stuff.
Mhm.
Or I was in church. I hate to say this, I don't like this church. I will never ever set foot in that church, because how they were treating me is they were treating me like my disability, like, oh, for how you do for special music and stuff. Like, it was just a lot of
Um,
tearing down. And it's like, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be treated this way. So I stood my ground and stuff. I
yeah.
was like, I'm not gonna be treated this way. Like, what on earth? I'm a singer and stuff. And it was just like, why are you guys people thinking it's treating me? You're going to the church, preaching the gospel, preaching all this, but you're judging on one person. That's what you're doing. You're
Mhm.
judging on one person. None of these other people are being judged. You're not
Mhm.
limiting them, but you're limiting me. And so, you know what? I was like, you have a deal. I sing low, right? I sing low. So I said, okay, I'll sing low. And then that was finally, they were letting me back on the worship team. And then after that, more stuff happened. And I told my mom, I'm done. I'm leaving. I cannot be in part of a church that is preaching Christianity, but is downing people with disabilities. I
Right.
cannot be part of a church like that. And I left. I left.
I
I
don't blame
said,
you.
I'm done. I told my mom, I'm done with this church. I'm done with these people. I'm done being treated like this. I'm done being treated that my disability has to be treated in a bad way. I'm sick of it. I was getting
Mhm.
sick of it. It was just like, it was the queue that I was in. It was the queue, and it was the control. And now I'm getting out of that queue slowly but surely and stuff. And that is what was happening. Was just I was in this queue of my parents being my guardianship for 3.5 years and me figuring out that you're controlling my life. You're not going to let me branch out. And
Mhm.
I hate to say this, how bad Minnesota is and how bad the state is. I'm glad that my parents sent me to the state because I wouldn't be able to branch out. I wouldn't be able to have a social media page. I wouldn't be able to have TikTok. I wouldn't be able to have Twitter. I wouldn't be able to have all of these social media pages if I didn't branch out
Yeah.
because of how controlling my mother was. Very controlling. And I
Mhm.
was literally seeing that I was stuck in this queue. I kept going around, try to get out. Nope, get back in. Oh,
Mhm.
I want to get my license. Oh, go do this test. Get back out. Get back in. So I was literally in this queue trying to like being successful. Oh, go get back in. Be successful. Get back in. It was a queue. I was in a queue. There was
Mhm.
no way for me to get out of this queue. There was no support, whatever, having the disability and now being in this queue. I was like, and somebody explained that to me, and it's like, Nate, you were in this queue. And I really looked at it, and he was right. And another great support team of mine. He goes, Nate, you're in this queue. And I'm like, you were right. You were so right. I am in a queue. He goes, branch it out, branch out, work on getting your license, just encourage me. Just do it, Nate. Just do it. Just do it. And that was amazing. I needed that encouragement right there is like, work on getting this, work on getting your license and stuff. And don't be stuck in this queue. Don't be afraid of branching out. And that is the one thing that I really, really liked is people supporting me, lifting me up, and being part of that team and being part of that family of mine is amazing. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And just to, brag a little bit, if you want to, help Nate, we got his Cash App. He's got to move. I got to move. We all need some help. And, where my link.
And great, strange ladies and gentlemen, where I'm moving to is moving to make a difference across the United States and the state of Minnesota. So we all have a journey and we all have a path in life. And I'm seeing my path. I'm seeing it
Absolutely.
right now. It's opening up the eyes, and it is what God has had in store for me all
All this time.
this time before I was even born. And it's amazing. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that is the one thing that I am never ever going to let down. And a lot of people ask me, how did you get through this? And I tell you, I have a great family that's behind my side and a great support team all across the United States of America. And it's going to keep going that. And some of them, yes, do tick me off. And some of them love joking with me and
Are
do.
you right?
Yes, I know. I love Meltdown. I love Richard. I love Stardust, Uncle Cody, Lori. Um, oh, uh, so many shout outs, KJ. Um, so many shout outs out there. Everybody who's been supporting me and stuff. And being there. You guys are amazing. You know how much I love you. And yes, Uncle Mark, yes, you do tick me off sometimes, but I know you just do it because you love me and I love you too. And sometimes you don't be quiet. Sometimes you don't read my ear, but I love you. So yeah, to them, I would not be here and stuff without their freaking support. So big shout out to those people.
I'm so glad because a lot of people don't like, and I've definitely been there, like as a conspiracy theorist, like I have had no support for a very long time until I'd say 2020 is really when I started to actually find my people. And it is such a blessing. It really is. And a lot of people take it for granted how many people, especially like just your followers, who come and like your videos.
It was amazing. I can't believe there was not a day that I would not get sleep. And my December 17th video was literally skyrocketing all over social media. And I would log into my app and it's like, you have 99 plus comments, 99 plus followers. By the end of December, I was at 29K.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, holy cow, this is amazing. And like, I met a lot of great people and things. Like, I have brothers. I have on this app. I have cousins. I have uncles. I have family that are not related to me, but they're part of my family. Like, people go, oh, when I at the hospital or having thing, I will call one of my family members, say, hey, I'm at the hospital doing the, it's so like they care. It's like, oh, we haven't seen you for a while. Are you doing okay? No, I'm just taking a break. I'm just resting. Or sometimes somebody will call me and it's be Mark is like, what he did? I'm like, I just woke up. But it's like somebody wants to check and just make me laugh. It's like the stuff that he says, like when he calls me, it's hilarious. And I'm like, hello. I go, yes. He goes, what are you doing? I go, I just woke up. Like this early. He goes, well, it's fair because you call me at 4:30 a.m. every morning California time, so I had to get you back. And I'm like, it is 6:30 in the morning. What on earth are you doing? Or it's 12 a.m. in the morning. He goes, where are you? I'm like, I'm laying in my bed watching a show. He goes, well, I'm gonna go scroll social media, just wondering where you are. or he texts or he messages me on TikTok or he goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm in bed. What do you expect me to do?
Like, who got this too, dude?
He's a joy. And Zookeeper, Richard, he's amazing too. I love them both. Like they will say anything that will make me laugh, but their wisdom, their love towards me, it's just
it's needed and appreciated and absolutely
people that I have in my life. Oh my gosh, I can't even name them all. Like the list is so long. We have Richard, Mark, Uncle Cody, Lori, Stardust, Revel, Country Life, Rat. The list is just so long of the people that are supporting me. And it's like, it's just amazing. Like these are people that really care, really care and will do anything to make sure that I'm safe and doing well. And that really means a lot. Wow. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in what you're doing. And I think during the time period, it was literally so perfect because Minnesota became such a hot topic. And then here comes Nate.
Here comes Nate, the disability advocate that ripped Tim Walz. The reason why I ripped Tim Walz is because of the support system that I had behind me. And that day I was like, and that's the day that I did not get any sleep, 48 hours being awake. I don't know how I did it and stuff. That's a record for Nathaniel Olson. It's 48 hours. That is a record. And the way of me just getting out there and just getting there it was a scary moment. I'm calling out a governor against.
Oh, Augie, didn't you know? I'm stealing your friends.
What's up, Augie? This is
Augie is the one that turned me to you. He was sending me like, my friend, and I was like, I know Nate.
Yeah. The group that we have, it goes down. Just oh my gosh, the support team I have is amazing. All over social media, it's just amazing. But that December 17th, I think, was the nervous wracking idea. Me not getting any sleep, and then me speaking. I'm like, okay, this speech ain't gonna mean nothing. And like I said, somebody typed me up a speech, and I'm like, well, that's not gonna work because that's somebody, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll use that next time. After I heard the Department of Human Services, I was like, I'm done. Okay, I got this. I got up there, and I was the last one. I think I was the only testifier willing to testify that day. And I was like, okay, this is a miracle. Got there, 222 minutes and 21 seconds. I gave that speech, and everybody's mouth just dropped. Like, I just got up from that chair, and I went outside, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I did not just say what I just said.
Yeah, you did.
I was like, no, there's no way that I just said what I just said at the Minnesota Capitol. And then I went back in, and then after the whole thing, got to meet Nick Shirley, got to meet his mom. Both interviews from them was amazing. And then got to meet another person out there at the Capitol, and then I go out the community one day and somebody goes, oh, you're the guy from TikTok, or thank you for what you're doing. And I'm like, gosh, I don't get any privacy,
Right. It's a double-edged sword because it's like we love all the support.
Exactly.
It's like, you know who I am. And I don't know who you are.
I live my private life without knowing that I was literally 20 million people saw my speech on the Jesse Waters show. So
right. It was so good though. Like,
it was good. It was amazing. I loved it. It's amazing that I got this far in life, and I thought I was never going to get this far. There was one day like, okay, I'm not going to get this far in life. This is not gonna happen. And then I got home and started researching fraud oversight committee hearing on Google, and all of a sudden I see this article: a disability advocate rips Tim Walz at the fraud oversight committee. And I'm like, okay, who's that? I started shouting up the top of my freaking lungs. I called my mother. I'm in my article by my grandparents, like, Grandma and Grandpa, your grandson just made an article.
That's so awesome. So, like, how did you go about that to testify? Did you just show up to testify?
I signed up. I had enough what I was hearing, and I was so sad that I missed the September 17th hearing. So it was double whammy, September 17th, December 17th. So I said, well, I'm going to go to December 17th hearing, and I'm going to testify and put them in their places. And so I was just sick and tired of these people going through this. It's not fair. Right. And nobody wanted to bring up how it's going to affect people with disabilities and stuff. And when we have over 600,000 people with disabilities, including myself, this is going to affect people. And that's why I am an advocate. That's why I went there and said, hey, wait a second, people. We're forgetting that this could really affect over 600, but the excuses from the Fraud Oversight Committee is more excuses. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to rip them all a new butt. And I sure did. And the human commissioner lady is like, oh, he just called me out. I'm like, hell yeah, I called you out, honey. Sure did. Yeah, I did. Sit here and think that I'm not going to call you out and think everything is goody two shoes in your eyes. No. Right. There are people that are suffering. And when I said my people are done suffering, meaning my people are done having their money stolen and given to these freaking illegals or people that are committing the fraud.
Right. Because
That
there's
is
so many, there's so many different things, and it's also happening in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is going to be the next
Yeah,
Minnesota.
exactly.
It
Exactly.
is. ICE is already all over the place. But you know
Mhm.
what? We're not having, riots in the streets or anything yet. So
Exactly. I just don't know why they
Massachusetts.
have to riot in Minnesota. Oh, because it's a small city and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's just very interesting because none of these rioters want to go protest for disability people. They want to protest for people that are breaking the law. And the idea that I wanted to, not the idea, the question that I really wanted to bring up for people who are on the Democratic side that are literally supporting these riots and stuff. This is my question right here with everything is why on earth, okay? Why on earth are they protesting for these people that are breaking the law? But when they break the law, get arrested, put in jail, there's nobody going to be rioting or protesting for them.
Right. And they're usually let out pretty quick if they get in trouble, especially
Exactly.
if it's rioting or protest or whatever. They're like, oh, yeah, you know what? Call this number and we'll get you bail money and, we'll figure it all out. And it blows my mind
Yeah.
because, I mean, we saw it in 2020 with the George Floyd. And I'm glad that it hasn't gotten to that extent yet because of ICE, but I believe it's gonna start up this summer.
I believe, yes, I believe it's going to start up this summer in the state of Minnesota. I believe they're going to do another summer of love. They already started the winter of love, okay? And when I looked at the videos that people were saying, some of these people should be arrested because some of these people were ready to take their 2As and go up to the White House and do some stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, when were you guys all for 2As now? You guys were all against this. And I'm looking at that school pew-pewer that we had, that school shooter that we had in Minneapolis. That was the day that I was going to the state fair. Thank goodness me and my friend got there safe. And that's another thing I love about these people. These people were calling, making sure that I was okay. That was just amazing. Like, that's people that generally care. Because I was
Right.
like almost 17 minutes away from the school. Didn't know if this guy was going to be coming up here doing some stuff, but Governor Walz says, oh yeah, we're going to have a special session in the House for gun control, right? Well, there was no special session. There was not one special session. And now I'm kind of looking at myself. I'm kind of thinking to myself, is this just that they wanted to have this gun session so bad? They had it in the Senate, but he wasn't going to have it in the House because the Republicans had the majority. It was 67-66 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking to myself, something's not right. Like, there's no way that we cancel an oversight or a special session in the Minnesota House and the Republicans came out and said, we're willing to work with Governor Walz. We're just waiting for that special session. And that special session never came.
Of course.
So my opinion, for educational purposes only, I think it was sad what happening to the people at that Catholic church that got injured and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very, very disappointed when the Republicans were ready to have the special session, have these meetings on these stuff, but our governor just turned it down.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a talk. Now there's a talk to have a gun control law passed in the House of Representatives.
Well, I mean, that's been pushed for 20 years at least.
Exactly. And then people are trying to knock this thing down. I don't think this bill is going to pass. We would have to have bipartisan people to pass a bill that's going to help us get more laws, but protect us from to not have stricter laws on guns in the state of Minnesota. But nothing that whole school pew-pewing and stuff, that did not add up. It was what it was happening. But when you have two politicians that are promising the Minnesota people and broke that promise to the people of the House of Representatives of Minnesota, and the Republican speaker and majority leader were ready to have a special session when Walz caused it and did not happen, that right there should have told voters he doesn't care.
Right.
He doesn't care what has happened. He's just putting on a show. He was putting on a show. Okay. That is when I caught it. It took me a while for me to caught it, but then he was just putting on a show. He didn't care. We were waiting for the special session. I think it was 6 weeks. And now the news came out saying there's a rumor that Walz canceled the special election because of the Republicans had the majority. So you canceled the special session because the Republicans have the majority? How does that work? So that was an article that somebody wrote or somebody put out, and I was like, if that's true, I've lost all I really lost all respect.
You are so loved here, just saying.
Oh, thank you. I lost all respect of what we saw on national television. It was nationalized. That was crazy. Our local news didn't pick it up until a couple hours later. It was nationalized. So something is just not adding up. There's a lot more investigating needs to be done. And then after that story, we never heard about it again.
So what would you say to regular old Joe Schmoes like myself? What's something that we can do to be advocates as well?
Well, there is fraud going on in every state and stuff. And make sure that these, people, this is something that I want to give you guys something out there that I learned. Disability people bring out the joy in a lot of people. And that is the society that people don't like seeing. Is I was listening to the story and it just made me cry. And this guy was having a hard day, and this somebody with severe autism or disability just came and just sat and and he needed that just closer. And there's another one that a guy came out to fix a Spectrum TV, and her son was deaf and blind, and she was having a hard day, and the guy just held that child and stayed there past his time to work, and that just went viral over Facebook. So
I'm gonna have to check that out. I need some happy sobs.
Yes, that disability brings the joy into people, and that's what I'm learning. And I'm not ashamed to have a disability. Yes, was I ashamed as a child because of the stuff that I was going through? Yes. Do I feel different? Sometimes do I feel insecure because I have a disability? Yes, I do. Honestly, I do. Because if I didn't have a disability, I wouldn't be a disability advocate. So that's like what a lot of people don't get.
Yeah.
I'm a disability advocate, and I'm doing something that I love. Yeah, exactly. So,
and because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here. We wouldn't even be doing this. You'd have some boring ass job.
Yes, boring ass job, But this is fun for me because this is a job. I'm self-employed. I mean, I'm not getting paid for this. I never will probably get paid for this job because I feel you. But this is work. I am working. I have a full-time job. I'm a disability advocate. I run a podcast and stuff, but having a disability and being that at the same time is amazing. It is the most amazingest thing that could ever happen in my life. And I'm so glad I went on this journey. And I wish I started this journey earlier, but hey, 2024, I'm glad I started the journey. I'm glad I started it during the election because it really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff.
And we have a really important election this year.
Yeah,
we have the midterms, which I'm pretty sure it affects like 300 and something seats. I'm pretty positive. Maybe 400.
If we keep going the way that we are doing right now, Democrats, even CNN is saying that the Democrats don't even have a chance for the midterms.
Oh yeah, no. Because I can't see people, especially that voted for Trump, going back to blue. And we definitely don't have, especially since the Epstein files, we have the left just doesn't want to talk about it at all.
Nothing. And it's so funny at the State of the Union is when Trump mentioned Minnesota, like I teared up because that was amazing that happened, that Trump mentioned Minnesota, and that just made my day. It's like, I posted, guys, we did it. But there's a lot of work to get done, but we did it. Making it that far and having the fraud in Minnesota be mentioned on so many levels, and now out of the president's mouth, I really was just that really made me cry, because I did a video and I was just tearing up because that's just amazing, because I made it that far to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And the President of the United States mentioned that, and Nick Shirley and I, the people that exposed the fraud, did the stuff. We did a great job. And yes, I'm still waiting for my Fox interview. I'm still waiting to get on some other news stations, but I think I want to be in front of the fraud. Jim Jordan is having a committee that is starting, and now the war on fraud. And so hopefully I'm on that committee and stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get to be on that committee with Vice President Vance. That would be really amazing if I had a title from Donald J. Trump, the Assistant Disability Advocate for Minnesota and the United States of America. That would just be awesome. And that I can work with the administration to tackle fraud and stuff and work from here. So that would be a dream. Or
it would be, especially to investigate, like you and Nick Shirley do a team and you go through like the paperwork, because so many states, California, Massachusetts, Minnesota, friggin' Connecticut, New York. I'll bet New York is a damn cesspool. I'll bet that's probably one of the worst of them.
Yes.
But
if I was honored by the President of the United States of America to be the Assistant Disability Advocate for Minnesota and the United States, federally and locally, I'm all in. I'm all in, because I have my team. I have the people that I can just put in that, and I'm all in. Let's go, baby.
You should go on Twitter, write out your like applying for the position and sign it to Donald Trump, and we'll all start sharing it around.
Exactly. Dear President Donald J. Trump, thank you so much for announcing this. I finally would like to offer you a position of me being the Assistant Disability Advocate of the state of Minnesota and the United States of America on the war on fraud.
You couldn't say no. You have such a great track record.
Exactly. You can't say now, sir.
Right? Oh my gosh. The dreams. We got to make them come true, guys.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. I would love to do that. That would just be amazing. And me going to Washington for a day, maybe in the summer, hopefully, if everything
I feel,
is
I
figured
feel like
out.
that would blow up on Twitter and he would
Exactly.
have to do something.
Yes. Mr. President. I finally accept the position of the disability advocate for the United States and the state of Minnesota.
Right?
I will be glad to be on the committee of the war on fraud.
And there's so much that needs to be done. Like after Minnesota with the whole daycare came out, I was like, I started looking into around my state, and I'm not in Boston, but I found out that there is almost every 3 blocks in Boston is a daycare center.
Yeah. That is funny. That is so funny. Every 3 blocks is a daycare center. That's weird. Mike. Hold on one second. She might have to restart.
My phone froze.
I thought something happened. I was like, your phone froze. That made a lot of sense. I'm like, okay, I'm telling everybody, she'll be back. She'll be back. But
I will always come back. Oh, it drives me nuts because it does it on TikTok too. And I always say something kind of like controversial. And so I'm like, I said something and then everything goes quiet. And I'm like, what, guys? Did I upset you that bad? Like, I didn't realize. And then it just froze. So I didn't hear anybody.
Exactly. No, that would be kind of funny if we had that you know, yeah, I would accept the position right away.
Absolutely.
And I would say I don't want to be paid for this job. I don't. I'll accept the position. I will do the work.
Right.
9 to 5. Let's do it every day, but give me Fridays off.
Right.
I mean, give me Fridays off.
That you find.
You know, because it's like I'll be at the Capitol every day, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it would be. I don't know. Would he give it to me? Would he think about it? Would he?
I think he'd at least think about it.
Yeah.
Like, especially because, like, I know people are like literally like run, you know, run for office.
I know.
And I know it's not ideal, but that's a way where you could be in office without being in office.
Exactly.
And I think that would be a good position for you. Especially like you already have done the research, at least with Minnesota, and then all it would be is just more research and more, you know, going through and figuring out where the fraud is.
Exactly. Yeah. And then asking, you know, the federal government, hey, let's open up the books here, open up there and stuff. And so
you could be the guy that says you're fired.
You're fired. You're fired. No, I'd be like, do you know this is happening? But no, that would be a great position to like do if that dream would ever.
And I hope to see more happen with you because I just have this gut feeling that you're gonna go places, and I love that.
Oh, exactly. I am like, this career is starting off. I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to be in the state for, but hey, if I have to move closer to Washington, don't worry, I will be flying out to Minnesota and still doing the duties there, and then flying out across all other states with a group of people, so there is a lot in store, and I think that's not a bad idea for me to do, just to be the assistant disability advocate for the United States and the state of Minnesota on tackling the war on fraud.
Absolutely.
Because
I love that. I'm gonna put that video right there, and it's going on.
Because fraud affects everything. It affects Medicaid, it affects daycare, it affects a lot of stuff. But we don't talk about disabilities as much as we should be, and much as it should be a light into. And I think that's the problem. It's silent, but I'm making it out there. I want to make it known that there are people with disabilities like myself that want our voices to be heard. We want people to listen to us. We don't want you to listen to the people that are not with us all the time, or listen to us, or listen to the people that are with these people a long time. Not the people that are working at the homes, or the people that are friends or family to him that knows what he's struggling with. Listen to those people. That's what matters to most. And I think the problem is I think people cannot handle that. Now there's a rise for disability help. There is a rise for disability people making their voice be heard. And that's what I'm loving. I'm loving it, because we're having our voices to be heard. And that is amazing. And I think 2026 is going to be like the new Roe versus Wade. It's going to be the disability voices versus the United States of America, making sure that we have rights, and making sure that our constitutional rights are fit for the Constitution and not fit for dictatorship, guardianship things, as I call. Because I don't agree with guardianship. I don't. And that's why I'm trying to actually get out of my guardianship and do a different source of plan and stuff. Because there's people that need family settings, and there's people that don't need that. And I'm working on getting family settings. So it's gonna take a lot of work to get done. So it's I know what I need in my life,
Question. Do you think also, because we were kind of talking about how like people in your life can kind of like hold you back or keep you down at a certain level, do you think in a way some of these benefits can do that too? Like, as I was saying with my brother, how he was restricted hours at work. Like, I feel like if you're able to actually work and want to work, you should be able, and it shouldn't hurt your benefits, like getting certain things.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I really think benefits can hurt people and to hold them back. Yeah, I really do. You are right upon that.
Because I think I don't know much about what exactly, certain benefits are throughout the programs and everything. But I feel like if you can work a full-time job, but maybe assistant with housing or assistance, if you need help managing your home, but you can work, 40 hours. But you can't manage your home or manage your finances and stuff like that. You feel like
I believe people who are on SS, Social Security disability, I do not believe that their Social Security should be knocked down because they want to work a full-time job. So that's another thing I do not disagree with. I disagree with that is, we're going to have to knock people's Social Security down because they want to work full-time. Social Security is not that much, so I agree with that terminology is we get Social Security down. So that's another thing that a lot of people are like, well, how can you agree with that? Well, The problem is there isn't a degree in that. There is a place that I disagree with a lot of stuff about Social Security. Is I do
Mhm.
not believe that should hinder somebody to work full time. And
Right.
hindering somebody to work 20 hours? No.
Right. Right. And it's like, so they can, barely have money, and then they're like completely reliant on government assistance, which, like, I'm not the biggest fan, because they're not guaranteed.
Yeah. I mean, because
So,
I've been under guardianship for almost started 2018. What's 2018? 18 minus 26.
oh my goodness. Brain, friggin' 24 years, or no, not 24 years. Friggin' 14 years. Ooh. Brain be braining, guys. Don't hate. Oh.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, I think it is 14 years, right? 14.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
14 plus.
We're doing math over here, guys.
Definitely, we are doing math. Yeah, it is. Yeah, 14. Yeah, 14. Yeah, 18 minus 26 would be. Hold on, let me. Now I have to go check the math quick. I think you're on to something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 18 minus 26. It's about 8 years.
Okay, 8 years.
Yeah, 8
That
years.
really
Well, 8
changed.
to 12. We would call it 8 to. It would be about 12 years.
Math is.
Yeah, it would be 12. Yeah, 4 to 26 minus 18. About 8 years, you all. It came out to be 8 years. Yeah, it's that's another thing. I've been under guardianship for 8.5 years, so it's like I want something different and stuff, and that's the life that we're living in right now. Is people want stuff different, but this fight has a lot of journey to go. This fight is going to continue to go, and I'm going to continue to fight for these disability people for the state of Minnesota, and hopefully for the United States of America.
Right? Come on, Trump.
Yeah, come on, Trump. Come on, Trump. You mentioned me once. Now, come on. Trump. Next time you want to capture somebody before my freaking Fox interview, couldn't you do it the day afterwards? How dare you? And everybody goes, what regret do you have about President Trump when he captured Maduro on February 4th?
It's just to dive down to people.
To help people all across the United States. So with the war on fraud, let me be the assistant disability advocate for the state of Minnesota and the United States. Tackle this across the United States. So that is the one thing hopefully it will come out to be. So
right, definitely. So just why not? How did you feel about Trump taking a president like he's a Pokemon and collecting him in the middle of the night?
Trump collected what?
Collecting presidents like they're Pokemons in the middle of the night.
Oh, I haven't heard that one, but I think that's funny.
I think it's a huge flex to be like, my president can get your president while he's sleeping.
Exactly.
I think it's a huge flex, but it does borderline on the he's a dictator, but at the same time, he did do it legally. Absolutely.
Exactly. He did it legally.
But
I don't know. People were saying we did it like Pokemon, collecting presidents like Pokemon. No, we doing stuff legally. Right.
And I think it's going to be such a crazy summer. I think it's going to be I don't think that Moderna is going to be the only one. I think there's going to be quite a few of them picked up. I'm hoping BB, but them pillow fights can be confusing.
Exactly. Zelensky. We'll see what's happening there.
Right. Like, how do you feel about this whole war with Iran and that Bibi threatened Trump to get him out of office if he doesn't strike Iran?
If he doesn't strike Iran, you really think Bibi is going to get Trump? We'll just, I hate to say this.
How much control do you
have? Yeah, I hate to say this. I think that is when we're going to go in there full military and be like, you're done. You know what I mean?
Right, we might as well hit Israel. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we might as well.
Let's get the Gaza Strip and build there, and then we'll decide what we want to do next. I think that's our plan. If you don't strike Iran, you threaten the President of the United States? I mean, Big Daddy gonna come there and spank you. You want that, Bibi? We'll spank you. All right? You want to get spanking? I mean, don't. We have to stop. We have to stop this. Nobody from a different foreign agency or nation should ever say that to the President of the United States.
Right.
I don't care what the hell you think you are, but literally we could charge you. We could literally charge you for threatening a president and just bring you to somewhere, a place that you don't want to go. And you probably already been there because we're in something called
mind-boggled. I was like, he's literally threatening to take him out of office. Like, okay, you're either showing that you've got like bullshit for bullshit and you got nothing,
or you have nothing, or you're really afraid of something that's coming your way.
Right. Oh, and like, if he has that much control to get him out of office, then yeah, we need AIPAC out. We need Israel bullshit out. Like, friggin', because you're not going to tell my fucking president that picks up presidents in the middle of the night that you're going to take him out of office. Like, excuse the fuck out of you.
Exactly. Trump ain't going to play around with Bibi. He's going to literally. I think we're going to see what's going to happen in the next couple days, the next couple weeks.
I think so too.
I think Bibi's afraid. I think he's so freaking afraid what's going to happen. And I think we're going to wait and see. I don't think we're going to bomb Iran. I think we're just going to go there, military, go make some deals and stuff like that. But yeah.
I think it's an intimidation tactic. But I do know a couple of people who are in military who are like, nah, if it was, we wouldn't be bringing the cargo to bring body back, basically. Like there's certain planes and certain boats that are just for like the dead. And so he was like, we wouldn't be sending those if we didn't think that we were actually going to war. And I was like, I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Well, this is my question that a lot of people on TikTok is asking is, back to the disability thing, what was your response with Ilhan Omar when the fraud thing came out?
With Omar? Oh my gosh. Omar has been in love with all of her fraud buddies. And I mean, she married her brother to get her brother into the country.
Exactly.
So
it's
she's like the queen of fraud.
Yeah, she's pretty much the queen of fraud, queen of goods, the queen of everything. But I think what's interesting is when Minnesota, you're this, and I'm like, oh, explain it. It's like, well, you allowed this fraud to happen, and now you're allowing disability people to suffer, and you represent the state of Minnesota. You said nothing. You said nothing about that.
No, she's like, I love my Somalian people. And
exactly.
It's like,
so how can you represent the state of Minnesota, and when a Minnesota citizen that you totally swore an oath to the Constitution to represent, you don't care? It is only the Somalian people that you care about. That's sickening to me. And anybody who thinks that, people are now joking, they're like, oh, you gave us Minnesota was our land. You gave it us 3.5 years ago. No, we didn't. We gave you nothing. When disability people are suffering and you politicians that are out there that are Democrats don't have any care in the world, you're complaining about ICE. I can't let these people suffer and stuff, and letting you guys keep going on like this, thinking everything is okie dokie. Everything is not okie dokie. You know what I mean? It's not okie dokie. Like these disability stuff is a huge issue. It's coming out more that there are a lot more people have been going homeless.
Yeah.
And the problem is, there's no problem. I'm not worried about me going homeless or anything. I'm not worried about that. I have somebody that I can call. Hey, they are not having any services. We file stuff to the courts. But I am worried about these people who need severe care, who need people to care out them. And if they go homeless on the streets, who's going to take care of them? These are some very seriously issues that I don't think people are thinking and knowing what's going to happen.
Right.
I don't think people know. People are not thinking that. These are some really, really very, very issues that I need to tackle. I need to tackle with the federal government. I need to tackle with our legislature. I need to make sure that we have a backup plan in case this stuff happens. And it seems we're not having a backup plan. I need a backup plan. I need that hearing that we need at the Fraud Oversight Committee. We need a backup plan because I do not want these people to go homeless. And what is coming out, more stories are coming out. More stories are coming out on the state of Minnesota, more people being homeless. So the idea that this was a whole cover-up is sickening. I do not like people who lie. I do not like when the Department of Human Services lied. They should have told us, yeah, one of our people got homeless. The people that they made sure that they're getting the right services, and then the fraud, and then the police came up and like, oh, you have an eviction. Well, guess what? I went on the Minnesota court website, and you know what? I'm going to go look. Why the earth are we using the name John Doe? At John Doe, Jane Doe, you're not going to believe how many cases I found of evictions.
Oh, I bet.
Something is not right. Something is going on. So now I stopped myself and thinking, we have a lot of cases, a lot of evictions, and now I'm kind of putting the pictures together. They don't want to know people that they're having all these evictions, so they're using their names. They never use that lady name. So constitutionally, she has no right to leave that Minnetonka house. She doesn't. Constitutionally, she has no right to leave. That was not her name. The judge made a mistake. And she said in that video, I'm not Jane Doe. I'm so scared. When you see, yes, it's illegal ease. Yes, it's illegal ease. It's just a way of them going over our shoulders, I think.
Yeah, basically.
But when I see that on the Minnesota thing, none of these people's names are Jane Doe or John Doe and stuff. Question is, if I'm getting evicted, I want my name on that eviction note.
Right, as you should.
I want that name on this eviction note. I'm sorry, but using the name Jane Doe and John Doe just for a legal case is not okay. That's not what I like. So, in my opinion, constitutionally, she should stand her ground. She goes, "You're not removing me out of my house because there's no
accurate information on the paper."
So something's not right about that. Give me her accurate name. I would say. Then I would say move out.
Right, and it's getting frustrating because more and more people are having this problem, and not just in Minnesota, all over the place. And also, how did people react when a bunch of people weren't going to be getting food stamps? We had some of the country that was like, oh my God. And then the rest of it was kind of like, oh, well, you should grow your food. You should go hunt for your food. You should go and like, unless, oh, well, if you have disabilities, you should still get food stamps. But yet you're still like, you're still not really supporting the food stamps because of the whole shutdown and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, so some of us it's okay, but some of us it's not. Like, yeah, pick one or the other. It's either not. So like, that's why I feel like a lot of these programs could be either shut down because of all of this fraud, which will hurt so many people, so
Exactly.
many people, or they're going to try and redo it. And unless really smart people do it, we're just going to have fraud again.
Yeah, Vice Chair Anderson made a very, 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 very good point about that at that fraud oversight committee that I testified my second speech there. It was really good. She made a very strict concern and nobody picked it up. She goes, if we do not solve this as fast as we can and put a stop to this fraud, the services are going to be no more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that really opened my eyes and say, educational opinions only. My opinion is that I believe that is what the Walz administration wants to do.
I think so too.
I believe that's what the human services administration is working on. I believe that they're trying to stop this, that we have no services. I think that's what they want.
See, I think they only want it because they've been found out. So if nobody is going to benefit off of these fraud benefits, then fuck everybody and take everybody out.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a situation that I don't like thinking about, but it's coming to that point. And if we do not figure that out, and if the Democrats and the Republicans cannot work together and put a stop to this, we need to stop. We need to put a stop to this right away, because I don't want disability people like myself and seeing these people suffer and go homeless. And I'm not worried about going homeless. I have people that will take care of me and stuff, but I do worry about these people. Now we're having more stories that multiple people are going homeless. This is not working. I don't.
The most ridiculous winter I think we've had in like 20 years. Mm-hmm. Like, and I can't even imagine being out on the street, like, especially Massachusetts. We just got that huge, nasty snowstorm. I got friggin' 4 feet of snow outside.
Yep.
Like, if I was home, and if I was to go homeless, I can only go to certain shelters, which, are kind of far away, like in like my area. And also because of how old my kids are, we could even get separated.
Yeah.
Because of it being a women's shelter, and I have older teenage boys.
Yeah, that is something I don't like thinking. I don't like thinking that at all. I don't like the option of that. I don't like thinking that I have to make plans of getting ready for these situations, getting ready for news, getting ready for everything. I'm going to focus on the good of Minnesota and the good of the United States, and hopefully I can help across the United States of the state of Minnesota, across the United States, and help. Like, I always have a point of, I had this idea that I would like to go in front of every human services committee that they have all across 50 states over Zoom and testify and ask, how are you guys helping people with disabilities in your state? What is the positive and what is the negatives? How can I help you guys expand more?
Right.
So, because I want a lot of people to get good disability services, but I don't want people to commit fraud on them. That is the problem that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's much crazier.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Idea.
And on that note, I'm going to say, everybody, don't forget to like and share. We did get quite a few people in here this morning, which I'm kind of surprised. I'm usually a night liver. So that's why I had so many like, oh shit, good morning.
Exactly.
Which totally works. It worked out for me. Thank goodness my kids went back to school today.
I know.
But it was so great to have you on, and I
So
definitely want to keep up with you and keep telling your story and getting more people, to hear about it, to know about it, and educate people on what we can do about it.
Yeah. What are we gonna do, guys? I am on Facebook and I am on Instagram, so you guys can follow me there too. I know I'm on TikTok too, and I'm on X. But yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to be on this podcast. This was amazing. Thank you guys for letting me share my story as a disability advocate for the state of Minnesota and somebody who has a disability. It was great. It was amazing.
Absolutely. I'm going to end it. You can stick around and we can chat if you want, but you don't have to hop right out. But for everybody else, we'll see you later.
All right. See you guys. Thank you guys so much.